outlining a process which does not necessarily involve another stimulation cycle. And my observational, not first-hand, but observational experience of managing IVF cycles in women of all shapes and sizes is that the gynecologist with whom I work, if it came to it, could do better than what has happened. Because, of course, one of the things that helps the gynecologists is to know what happened before. So there is an avoidance strategy here with which I can help you. But the process says, let us correct what we know we could correct, which is the varicocele, the male factor. Let us maximize the chances of what we want, which is having a baby. And how do you get babies? You get babies from blastocysts. But they do have to be in the womb, not the freezer. And then, if we need to, I will help you somewhere, probably in the UK, possibly abroad, to have a much better managed cycle.
So where do we go to from here? Do we contact you after, like, we either get the funds or do the 4 embryos, or what does that look like?
Right. I think you, in any case, make plans to have the embryos replaced. That you don't need me for. For the varicocele, when you think, whenever that might be, we can afford this. You send Alison an email to say, fix the varicocele. Then, within a week, you get phoned up by my colleagues in London who say, when would you like it? And you just decide when you would like it. As far as Paul is concerned, he spends a day in London. He can go home that evening. There's no general anesthesia. It's all local. And although I wouldn't do strenuous work for the first 3 or 4 days, you can be back at work, on the 4th or the 5th day. It's fine. All you need to avoid is strenuous exercise and going to the gym for about a month. But it's uncomplicated. It's pretty easy. There's no surgery, no general anesthetic. It's local anesthetic only. It's not even day surgery. It's an outpatient procedure without any cutting or stitching or general misery. So this is a pretty straightforward thing. And the only disadvantage of the whole business is 7,000 quid.
We'll start our lemonade stand then. We'll go start our lemonade stand.
Exactly. So we got a very clear plan. It goes fix the replacements, the frozen embryo replacements, transfers in Prague. You can fit that around your visa status. That's something that you can just do. And it's good to be doing things rather than doing nothing. At the same time, don't put too much sugar in the lemonade. And when you feel that, there's a bit of fluidity with the money, whenever that might be, you send Alison an email, and then I fill in the request form, we process that, and my colleagues in London get in touch with you directly and say, when do you want it? And then we keep in touch, always 3 or 4 months after a varicocele treatment. I would reassess things for you to see whether we're proceeding, which I think we will be. And then if, and only if, those blastocysts haven't worked, then I will help you to a differently managed cycle, if we have to.
And then, quick question. So after the procedure, then when Paul would have to do the like checkup to make sure that everything's headed in the right direction, would it be the same cost and same protocol like what we did when we were there last month? So the ultrasound and all of that?
No, we don't have to do the ultrasound.
Okay.
We do a semen analysis and a DNA fragmentation test.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Kind of.
No, honestly, no, thank you. I still feel like this is a like massive weight off my mind because I although it's now looking a bit more tricky going forward, I know.
Yeah.
And we were in the same situation, but we didn't know, and that was worse for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, thank you.
And now we know we can explain why what has happened.
Yeah.
We can predict that with 6 blastocysts, you start off with a better than 50% chance, given your fragmentation, that one of those is going to get through the gate.
Right.
So it could have been much worse. This could have said, well, actually, this is the way Paul was born.
Yeah.
He's one of those men who just can't make decent sperm.
Yeah, totally.
And it could have said, well, therefore, because it's such bad sperm, the treating the varicocele is not going to make a difference.
Yeah, totally.
So actually, given 5 years without a baby, and all the possible reasons for that, actually, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's still a long road ahead a little bit, but at least there's a chance of rectifying it, so that's good.
Yeah, there's a chance of rectification, and now, which is what we've just done, we've got a clear plan.
Yeah.
I wish they would have, when I went to the doctors about this when I was a teenager, I wish they would have made me done a test then. Semen
DNA.
analysis.
Well,
then, or
but the semen analysis looks okay.
Well,
it's the fragmentation that is actually.
Yeah.
I wish in Prague they did. In Prague they do the analysis for €100 more. That they had his sperm like from November 2022, and we didn't do the egg retrieval until February 2023 because the first one failed because I didn't respond to the trigger. I wish that they did the fragmentation then because we were waiting around anyways. And I just think it would have given us a little bit more realistic expectations going into the transfers. And obviously, that was now almost 2 years ago. We could have had the 7,000 to do the procedure. So anyways, I guess this whole journey, the journey is like a shoulda, coulda, woulda, but we're here now. We've got a plan of action moving forward.
You see, from their point of view, from the point of view of the gynecologist, they take a very simple view. They say, if, irrespective of this man's fragmentation, if we choose the right sperm, then there is a good chance that this couple will succeed. Now, of course, they didn't know then, they couldn't have predicted that there was going to be all that bleeding and the difficulty and all of this. Now, it could have been, you see, when one says, how could it have been different? I wish this, that, and the other. And in your case, you think, well, obviously, if we treated the varicocele, things would have been different. But actually, things could have been different even in these circumstances, because what might have happened is that first blastocyst, without the bleeding and all the trouble in the cycle, that first blastocyst might have worked. In which case, he would have been pregnant and had a baby. In which case, everything they did in Prague would have been vindicated.